Friends, family, subscribers to the YouTube channel, Adventuring with the S.G.O.C.C. Boy, have we got something exciting for you this morning. So, our community really celebrates our veterans. And we are sitting in a prime spot in order to watch the Veterans Day Parade as it unfolds. Look for Tim and Cassie. They'll both be in it. They'll be coming down. I don't know what part they're going to be in, but they're going to be in the parade. We're pretty excited about this. We love our community, and we're excited to show how our community respects our veterans and takes care of them. We are a military town. If you were to follow this road all the way to its end, you would come to the main gate at Fort Huachuca, which is the last military intelligence fort in the United States Army, as far as I know. We have a little bit of a waning moon up above, which is kind of neat. Let me zoom in on that. And we are sitting located in front of the Wendy's Hamburgers restaurant next to KFC, right on Fry. I live very nearby, and we've been allowed to get a prime spot right here for the parade. They're closing down traffic. The parade starts at 9 o'clock. Right now I show it's 8:52, so we're pretty close to having the parade starting. We've got people posting up, getting prime seating. This young lady is right here near us. She's very patriotically adorned, which is pretty right on. These young folks are walking down the street looking for a price. So there's a wide range of ages. You can see off in the distance there's a lot of people that are on the curb in their lawn chairs, ready for this show. Behind our apartment complex is where the staging area is. We're going to have a lot of military, a lot of people that are going to be enjoying the parade and celebrating our veterans. This is what today should all be about. We're also celebrating a new mayor that was elected here in Sierra Vista. If I'm pronouncing his name correctly, it's a gentleman named Clay McCrae. He is retired Army associated with the base. We are an Army town. This is a veterans town. A lot of retired folks here that have called Sierra Vista their home. The base is quite large. Interesting side note, Fort Huachuca was the home of the famed Buffalo Soldiers of Old West lore. So we have another connection between our town, the fort, and the Old West. As people that follow the channel know, Tim and I just love the Old West. We celebrate it. We think it's fantastic that we live here. Excuse the movement on the camera. I'm trying to get Jax's leash off. He's going to be here to watch the festivities too. There's Jax. Say hi, Jax. Hey, that's a pretty interesting voice you got there, kid. These are some of our local Arizona Rangers, which Tim is in the process of becoming an Arizona Ranger. He has already gotten his CCW, and he describes the process on the channel in another video. He is yet to go through the entirety of the training. His main purpose for becoming an Arizona Ranger was to be able to be armed security at his daughter's school. Here in Arizona, we treasure our children and we protect them. One of the big things that the Arizona Rangers do as a group is they post up at schools so that no psychopaths come barging in and start killing our kids. They're ready to lay down their lives. They are a form of law enforcement, and they've been around in Arizona for a great many years. This state is the Old West. We love it. We celebrate it. We visit places all the time. And if you're a friend of the channel or a subscriber, you know that we've recently started accepting sponsorships for adventures. In that, if you know of a place, hear of a place, or have listened to our list, if you want us to go film an adventure, we will do so in your name, so that it will be on the internet in perpetuity in your name. So if, like Johnny Ringo's gravesite, if you wanted us to go there, we would say John Smith sponsored this video to go visit the Johnny Ringo gravesite, and we would go there, film it, post it up on the internet. And we've done a couple of commercials for businesses, a lot of historic sites. I think we have 160 plus videos on the channel. So we try to get out there as much as we can, but economics being what they are right now, a little tough. But we're excited, very excited. Now somebody just backed up right next to us on the right side, which is fine because we're filming from the left side. And they're now clearing Fry. There's a local police car that just went up. The Arizona Rangers are blocking off Fry Boulevard, which is our main street here in town. So it looks like our parade is going to start. I'm hearing whistles in the background for marching groups. So it looks like the excitement is building. We're getting ready. I'm excited to see it. The last parade I saw, honestly, was probably in Napa, California, downtown. Yeah, it's been that long. One of the things that drew both my brothers and I, Steve, Tim, and I, to this small town is that it reminded us a great deal of Napa when we were growing up. I've lived in a bunch of big towns. I've lived in Phoenix, Austin, Sacramento over the years, and honestly, I didn't realize how much I missed small town living until I moved to a small town like what we grew up in Napa. Napa is no longer the town I grew up or the community I grew up in. Back then, you knew everybody, if not everybody, most folks. And I've reestablished contact with a bunch of people on Facebook that I grew up with, which is pretty neat. There's no Friday night cruises here. They do have a hot rod club that hosts a cruise in a big parking lot down by Harbor Freight Tools. But just so you folks know, I'm filming a video for our video channel on YouTube. So you're welcome to stay where you are, but just know that you're going to be on video. It's eerily quiet now that we're coming close to the parade start time. It's supposed to kick off at 9 o'clock and we are at 8:59. So any minute, you can see where the barriers are way in the distance. That's where the parade is going to start. That's 7th Street, and it's going to proceed toward us down Fry Boulevard. So we're in a perfect, advantageous point to see it. This is probably going to be one of our longer videos, exceeding both the Camp Naco video that we did, as well as the Desert Adventures video that we did, in which Tim went down into a 650-foot silver mine. That was pretty exciting. And if any folks watching the video want to book an exciting adventure, Desert Adventures, You can go back and see everything on the channel. They have a 650-foot deep silver mine. They offer 4-wheel drive adventures on quads out in the desert in Vail, Arizona. This is actually not a car in the parade. As far as I know, this guy is just drives around town. It's a pretty neat old car. Reminds me of a 1946 Plymouth that I had as my first car that actually Dick Olant found for me, and my dad and I went and picked it up using Dick's truck and a trailer. Well, here we start. Here comes, looks like some motorcycles are starting the parade. There is a, up in the sky, I don't know if you can see it, is a C5 gunship. It's pretty cool. Hey Tim, you're on the video channel.
Oh.
The parade has started. We're seeing a contingent of motorcycles come down the street right now. I'm posted up literally right in front of Wendy's, in between the two driveways, and a perfect advantageous point. I was just zooming in on the C5A gunship that flew overhead.
Yeah, I saw that. Right now we're in front of Penske, and we're waiting for our...
You mean...
looks like that we're going to be in the outside lane for the minute. I don't know if we're going to follow it all into one lane.
Everybody's coming down into one lane.
Okay. Looks like the Buffalo Soldier Motorcycle Club is also here. But, yeah, when they let us go, we'll be on our way. We're in front of Penske. That's the number they moved us to Penske.
You mean Penske?
Yeah, Penske.
Yeah. Well, this is a bunch of MIA flag flying motorcycles that just went by. So I guess that's the beginning of the parade.
Motorcycle club that I see at the American Legion all the time.
Oh, okay, the American Legion guys. Okay. Well, we'll see you soon. There's a bunch of Arizona Rangers out in front of here. But you'll see me. I forgot to grab the tripod, but I'm holding the camera. I expected another group right behind the motorcycles, but apparently we're having a little staging issue. We'll see you as you come by. Be sure to wave.
Yeah, I don't know when you're going to let us go. There's a lot of other people going before us.
Well, there's a lot of people on the curbs waiting to see the parade, as are we. There's a guy with a camera standing right in front of me, so this must be a great position. So,
Shit, I forgot to bring my gun.
that's okay. I have mine.
Okay.
All right.
See you shortly.
All right, bye-bye. Well, that was Tim calling to let me know that he's getting ready to start the parade. They are, if you go up here on Fry and take a left at that light that you can see way up there, that's 7th Street. If you turn left and go up a block, then that's Wilcox, and he's at the corner of Wilcox and 7th. So he's going to be, I imagine, in the beginning portion of the parade. So we're pretty excited. As I said earlier at the beginning of this video, our community really supports its veterans. It's a military town. There's a lot of guys, like this fellow right in front of me. He and his wife are walking by. He's got a hat that signifies what ship he was on in World War II or Korea. I didn't see it clearly because I was on the phone with Tim. But yeah, this community really digs its veterans. We celebrate them. We respect them. I was doing it long before I moved to Sierra Vista, but whenever I see somebody wearing a hat showing that they're a member of the armed services, I always thank them for their service. It's the least I can do because of the most that they did. And I really, really miss the fact that I didn't grab our tripod. And you can probably see the shaky video because I really, really needed the tripod and I didn't grab it. But the parade is starting. Here we have an escort by a Sierra Vista police car. I can't make out what the sign says, but as they get closer, we'll both be able to make it out. Sounds like a marching band of some type. I'm recording a video, but if you want to stand in the shade so that the glare doesn't get in your camera,
I'm good.
Perfectly willing.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You betcha, brother. So we're hearing some singing. I wish they walked faster. Looks like by the sign, I can't tell the sign on the blue truck, but the sign of the marchers, the first group marching, holding the American flags, says Civil Air Patrol. And quite honestly, I didn't know we still had that in America. I don't know if you can hear the cadence they're chanting clearly, but they're going to repeat it. The first car is Air Force Association, Cochise Chapter number 107. Followed by the Civil Air Patrol. Then we have a group of the Women's Army Corps Veterans Association, San Pedro Chapter number 95. The San Pedro River is very nearby to us. Then we have the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 9972 of Sierra Vista, Arizona, with an old Willys World War II era Jeep and trailer. Now there's something you don't see every day, a Dodge military truck with a military trailer behind it. And that's the Toys for Tots entry. Followed by the Arizona Army Security Agency Association. Intelligence Community joins Arizona ASA Association. Yeah, as I said, the Fort Huachuca is the military intelligence fort. Honestly, that's too small for me to read.
Happy Veterans Day.
And we have a well, the Ladies Purple Heart Auxiliary, but we also have a homemade train parade vehicle based on a looks like a truck chassis. That's kind of neat. Whistle, bell, the whole bit. That's kind of neat. We have a bicycle group with a bunch of incumbent bikes and regular 10 speeds. I don't know what the group is that they're representing. I can't read the shirts as they go by. Well, that's a neat one. That last yellow incumbent bike is actually, he's not pedaling it, he's using the handlebars in a rotating fashion to power the bike on a chain. That's kind of neat. Then we have the Sahara, I can't read it, Humanitarian Resource, and the Vietnam Veterans of America. Then we have a deuce and a half carrying a great many flags. And veterans. That is the Disabled American Veterans entry. They do good work here locally. The Marines, which just celebrated a birthday last couple of days, as I recall, and Toys for Tots. There's a series of songs by Hardcore on YouTube, if you want to give a listen, especially watch the lyrics. There are celebrations of our warriors. Arizona Veterans Hall of Fame. The USO. And we have a group of motorcycles coming, and they seem to all be sharing the same color. It seems that this is a motorcycle club. Can't see who it is. It looks like Combat Vets Association. Now you may notice hardly anybody's wearing a helmet, and that's because helmets are not required in the state of Arizona to ride a motorcycle. That's a neat old sidecar. Looks like a newer Indian with an older nostalgic sidecar adapted to it. Big old chopper. And we have a whole bunch of cars coming. This first one is Lolly Chevrolet. And if you ever got the chance, they have one of the newer Copo Camaros there. That's basically a race car. Here we have the Boulder Crest Foundation. Neat wrap. Well, that's a neat old car that you don't see very often. They actually used to make these. They're a kit car. I think they're based on a Lincoln or a Cadillac chassis. But they were made to be swoopy and interesting, like the old day cars back in the 20s, 30s. And this one represents the Vintage Motorcar Club of America Hummingbird chapter. Old 57 Chevy hot rod. It looks more pro touring with those wide tires. Very interesting. An older convertible Cadillac. You don't see one in that condition very often. A 55 Chevy in two-tone, very stock looking. I've had a couple of those. Corvette Roadster. A newer Corvette. Actually, there's a couple, one behind that one. Silver one sounds like a 4-speed. It's just really neat seeing how our community comes out for our veterans. We've got an old V8 Ford truck, and if I'm not incorrect, that's an Avanti behind it. Another couple of big cars. Can't tell the makes on both of those. And then the last one in line is a 69 Camaro with an aftermarket hood, which is pretty interesting. Good looking SS Camaro, I have to say. Seats are a little tall for my my liking, but it says it's got a 454 in it because it's got 454 badges. Good looking car. We have the Knights of Columbus behind them, and then we have a very large walking group coming behind them. And of course, this parade goes down Fry Boulevard and culminates at the Veterans Park on Fry Boulevard. It's our big park for everything. The 4th of July celebration, they have carnivals that visit there. Thursdays they have a farmer's market, which is very overpriced. So it looks like we have the Cub Scouts here that are passing by. I remember being a Cub Scout. The American Heritage Girls, and there, if you see, there's Cassie and Tim. Couldn't really understand what they were saying, but they had a lot of enthusiasm in the way that they were saying it. I don't know what that sign says. We can't read your sign! It looks like these are some live action role play folks. Perhaps people celebrating Renaissance era stuff. Huzzah! I recognize that from the Renaissance fair that I've been to. And of course, the Star Wars contingent. Looks like we have a Sith Lord or two. Maybe Boba Fett. Boy Scouts of America. And that flyover you heard was a pair of interceptor fighter jets out of either Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix or the Yuma Air Station, which, by the way, is home to Marine Fighter Squadron 214.
We shipped that plane over for you guys.
You can hear some car alarms going off because those fighter jets were pretty doggone low. Here we have the Southern Arizona Nurse Honor Guard. Sorry about the crazy camera work, but as I said, I didn't bring a tripod, and I'm trying to do something with my other hand. So, looks like we have the Scottish Guard. The Highland Lads and Lasses. I'm gonna have to set you down just for a moment.
We're right here. Everybody that counts.
So, sorry about that. I am a patriotic fool who loves my country and all those who have served. And when those planes flew over, I got choked up. So I had to blow my nose and wipe my face a little bit. I apologize. Here we have some of the marching Army personnel. It looks like this is the United States Army Warrant Officers Association, Arizona chapter. And they have a dog with them, and of course, Jax wants to go say hi. Oh, they've got a couple, a yellow lab and a boxer. Jax, it's okay, Bubba. Here's another sign that's, I just can't read. American or Arizona Silver Chapter of something. Sierra Vista High School.
Wish I was back on my block with a drink in my hand. With a drink in my hand. I wanna be a drinking man. I wanna be a drinking man. Go! Go! In a bottle, in a can. Wish I had one.
What's up, buddy? The Sonoyta Rodeo Queen. Sonoyta is a community northwest of us that is a very country, very western themed place. It is an interesting place to go visit. I suggest anybody coming down to southeast Arizona make Sonoyta one of your trips. Sierra Vista United Methodist Church, representing for our veterans. Interesting, playing an anti-war song from the 60s and 70s. Let's see. I can't tell what the Corvette, the silver Corvette that we're looking at represents. It says home of the F something. So they have a bunch of bears and stuff on top. There's another couple of young ladies in a brilliant blue Corvette convertible. Again, I don't know what they're representing. I can't read their signs that go across their bodies. They have crowns on, so beauty queens or homecoming queens perhaps. I have no idea. Evidently this is a Corvette association because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 11 Corvettes all in a row. America's sports car. I know some of you out there are going to say it's a Ford and the Mustang is America's sports car. It's not. It's the Corvette. A couple of the drivers of these Corvettes are wearing hats that designate their service. Young lady walking down the street with a service representation hat. Apparently some exhaust work done. We might get an idea of who the Corvette Club is because it looks like we've got a pretty good size sign on this yellow Corvette. Let me zoom in a bit, see if we can read it. The answer would be no, I can't read that. Perhaps one of our viewers can read it, but I can't. So we'll go back out, catch the last couple of Corvettes, and we've got another couple of beauty queens. I tell you, I really like that blue that last Corvette is wearing. That's a really pretty color. Miss Sierra Vista Outstanding Teen. That's who the one in the red Corvette was. And this is Miss Sierra Vista in the blue Corvette. Then we have another motorcycle contingent. Tim mentioned earlier that he thought the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club was here at some point. I hope so. I'd like to wave hello to them. Some of the Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club were at our video that we made for Camp Naco, and they're really good guys. I read that back of that one fellow that was riding in circles, it said Green Knights, but I don't know the rest of it. The Cochise County Sheriff's Office, we have a great relationship with them as we are primarily a private gun club, and we also have a YouTube channel. We very much enjoy the Cochise County Sheriff's Department. The Vietnam Advisors in a nice older motorcycle with a sidecar. Kind of neat. Then the Salvation Army Mobile Food Bank. Salvation Army is pretty strong here. They do a lot of stuff. And we've got a little van following that's also Salvation Army, and then Synergy Home Care, which I know nothing about. And we've got a flatbed being pulled by a, looks like a Peterbilt tractor. They were singing a moment ago. Let's hope they sing again. Looks like Buena Vista Cheer. Buena Vista is one of the high schools here. Another flatbed rollback. This is from Barnett's Towing. Big tow outfit here. They are not the AAA certified towing company, but they clearly are represented. We have another trailer being towed. Just says we appreciate our veterans. I don't know what organization they represent.
How's it going?
You're on videotape, brother. Oh, Disciple Veterans just dropped by a little card. And now we have the Tombstone Junior ROTC Yellow Jacket Battalion with an enormous American flag. We've got a marching band coming. Well, here's a group representing the Buffalo Soldiers. They've got a really neat museum over on the fort that one of these days when I can tear Tim away, we're going to go make a video of, unless somebody wants to sponsor it sooner. As I said earlier, the Fort Huachuca is the original home of the Buffalo Soldiers. Bunch of young folks representing a riding club, and we have a marching band. Well, they're carrying a banner, but the wind is blowing it, so I cannot read who they represent. It's not a heavy breeze, but it's enough to keep that banner from being viewed. High School marching colts. There we go. Like we have a contingent of soldiers. I hope we'll be able to hear what their cadence is. And the last two participants in our Veterans Day Parade here in Sierra Vista, Arizona, is what looks like a recreation of a cavalry unit that would have been stationed here in Fort Huachuca. It's actually a woman involved in the group who is actually riding side saddle. You don't see that very often. This sergeant has actually got his rifle, and the gentleman and young lady following him in exactly the position they would have carried when there were cavalry soldiers here. And here we have a small howitzer being transported in a trailer behind a dually. I have no idea what the designation of that flag means. Perhaps one of our viewers would know. It looks like a recreation unit.
Guys, thank you for your service. We appreciate it.
And that's it. The Sierra Vista Police are following up. That means the parade is over. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. And as usual, this has been a Fun Brothers production.